It is currently 5:30 a.m. here where I am. I came into the office a little bit early this morning, mainly because was running through some stuff, and there's just things I need to get done. And I felt the need for productivity. I couldn't get it done while I was home. So I just went ahead and just got to work. And then I was working at home and I thought I'll just come in and work from here. And I was running through content ideas and that kind of stuff. So I was just like, okay, I'll just go film here at the office a little bit early, a few hours before folks get in. People start coming in generally about like 7:30 or 8 or so. So I just decided I'd do a way earlier day. Hey, what's up, R3? We No, this isn't terribly normal for me. I am generally more of a night owl, not really a super early morning person. Hey, what's up, Bojo? But I figured, hey, I'm doing it. These live streams seem to be going well. It's a thing I'm supposed to. Here's the thing: this week we're supposed to do an experiment of doing a live stream every day, and I have no idea how these are going to go, but we're going to go ahead and try to get them done. So if you guys would just want to hang out, I'll ask questions as I go by, but I do actually am going to be doing real work for a bit. So if you have any questions, go for it. What's up, Jameson? Well, hello from Taiwan. Fantastic. We're up here early enough that we're getting people in other locales. That's fantastic. Yeah, let me know if there's anything that you want us to go over. Yeah, we can go through anything around 3D printing or teleport and that kind of stuff. But before that, I'm going to try to line out a little bit of content in other areas that needs to be done. So I'm just going to work here for a bit, and if you guys have anything up, I'll try to keep it covered. All right. Actually, I need this over here. It's not going to be super dynamic from my normal streaming time because I'm just going to see how it goes. We're just going to be. All right. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. It's fascinating TV, I know, but we're going to run with it anyway. So what I'm doing right now, guys, is I'm emailing a guy who we wanted to bring on to teleport and just doing scheduling a follow-up call. What's everybody got? Is it okay to use TPU on a PLA ABS PET G plate? Yeah, that's totally fine. Morning from Brazil. Hey, Garati 75. How's it going? Ithaca, New York. Early riser. You guys are, it's about 7 over there in New York right now. Glad you were able to come on. Once the world starts turning on, yeah, again, for real, I gotta get a few calls lined out here for people. Things that have come in over the weekend. This is interesting. I've never live streamed while I was actually working, so this is going to be a new experience. But it's interesting because you don't get as distracted as easy, besides the fact that I'm talking to you guys. But it's, first of all, people are not going to just walk up to me and bother me. Of course, not just because it's the morning, but because of things going on, but also because of you guys are watching me. So now I'm going to be on best behavior. This is a timer. I do 5-minute stuff to make sure that I'm staying on track. We work with a company that we spend thousands of dollars with every year. They just sent me an invoice for $4.23. Anybody have opinions about how that is? That's so ridiculous. Oh, Moscow, Peppy Pexel, what's up? Shipping out, that's a money losing SOP. Every penny counts. Pay them on time. What now? Oh. Do you guys want to, I don't know what to do, actually. Yeah. What are suggestions of things you guys wanted? Oh, actually, I'll show everybody this. Anybody on the stream can get early tidings on it all. Yeah, no, I can't. Can I leave that? I don't know if I can leave that. I think I can leave that for 2 seconds. We got stuff here. Oh, they're chewable. So, vitamin C, because it's the winter time. I didn't realize these were chewable. How many can I eat? Because these are the orange flavored ones. Woo! They say chew 2 tablets daily with a meal. What a good idea. Nice vitamin C. I can get behind it. So, guys, one of the projects that I'm working on for a video are these can shooters. So this was a viral product a month or 2 ago. We're a little bit behind, but I wanted to redesign it and show how to design it for mass production so that you can do this kind of stuff. Working on refining some of the dimensions of it. And the real magic is kind of the internal structures here that make this whole thing work. There we are. I'm going to go ahead and set 5 minutes for chat and then 5 minutes of work, and we'll go back and forth like that. But there is just, yeah, this will be coming out in a video probably in a week or 2 or so. We're refining the final parts of it. I wasn't planning to drink this Dr. Pepper, but since it's here, I don't want it to go to waste. And you guys told me, Gabe, if you're going to drink Dr. Pepper on the show, make sure you turn the label out so that maybe Dr. Pepper will sponsor us. I was like, guys, we don't have Dr. Pepper or other people sponsor us. We're not doing ads on the channel anymore. And they were like, but Dr. Pepper doesn't have anybody else to sponsor. I was like, I'll bet they can find someone who's not a 3D printing channel. But heck, I'll put it up here just to see how it's going. What's going on, mate? Hey, what's up, Oneros? Neros? Oh, yeah. Dragons are local 2432. D3 is big. Ultimate koozie. Yeah, it is the ultimate koozie. This koozie is going to be sick because you take it like here. Yeah. Got to readjust the rim a little bit there. That's why it's not ready yet. But it will. The main thing is it's going to shoot the can out the top, which is totally worth it. All right. Vitamin D3. No, I can go out into the sunlight occasionally. Even though it is 5:30 a.m., I will go for a walk at some point this morning. Okay. I am amazed that concurrent viewers went up since I started drinking the Dr. Pepper. Everybody's like, oh, yeah. I'm going to attribute that to that. But yeah, if anybody has any questions about either 3D printing, the print farm, our print farm, that kind of stuff, let me know. Get them down there, and I will follow up with you. Wheel number 4. Oh, yeah, I don't need that. Hey guys, email I'm working on right now. Might as well send it out to chat. Um, Perfect timing. Um, 5 minutes of chat. Here we go. I'll put that right there, so everybody knows how long we have. But send. How do we do the rest? Talking to some other YouTubers, and we're working on trying to do some collab videos. And what always comes up is we design products and that kind of stuff in all of our videos, like these things and other stuff. And what I wanted to do was we've been reaching out to folks and we're like, hey, you want to do a video together? And they're like, yeah, kind of cool. What do you think we ought to do? And we're like, well, we could design a product together. And they were like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, that's fine. That's fair. But like oh, actually, this is cool. If you guys didn't watch the video this week, I recommend grabbing this because these organizers are sick. These are lock-in ones. This was a bad print, but there's all these types of items, that are really cool. And we'd like to design these sorts of things for other YouTubers because it'd just be fun. What are some items that you would think that like maker YouTubers could design and create with 3D printing to make them really good quality, so that they're not like cheap plastic crap or whatever else it was, but actually something interesting? Is there like a 3D printed type of merch that you think a YouTuber should have that would be really sick? Because we're looking for stuff and we want to get in their comments and we want to send them ideas. There's organizers, there's koozies, there's organizers. Oh, this one's cool. This is a blade. This is a paper tearing blade that we're using for, it's an internal device that we're working on. Turns out the blades on it, we made 1mm blades up here and then great big old 2 to 3mm blades down there. The 1mm blades are too small to do any paper tearing, so we're making those chunkier. Also, this gap at the back side of it all is too wide to where the paper goes in there and then you're kind of stuck without it tearing. So you do actually need it to come down to a point. We thought we would get away without it. And then, of course, since it's printed horizontally, it's as strong as it'll ever be. But yeah, we need ideas for stuff to design on behalf of like other YouTubers. We'd like to do a video series where we like just like pick someone and say like, we designed shoes for Kobe Bryant. We designed a cool thing for Joel, the 3D printing nerd, or we designed something for Adam Savage. Those types of things. So if anybody has a great idea, I'd love to hear them. What 3D modeler do you use? Dragons are. We use all of them. We have the company as a whole generally kind of uses like Autodesk 360. Let me get rid of this. As or like Autodesk products for most of our stuff. But we also use 3D Builder. We just released STL Bash, which I'm starting to use kind of on the regular because it's just so workflow clean for me. And then there are tools there. We've touched on Blender. We use Shaper. There's a bunch of modeling tools that we kind of mess around with. What CAD do you use? That's the same question. Dragon chainmail armor with wings is a big project, but it would be sick. That would be kind of interesting. What are you using for this? What OS are we using for this? Like for this thing right now? I grabbed my phone and I just said live. So we're not really using Android. We're using Android for this. For the stream in general, but yeah, the CAD itself is Autodesk products most of the time. Speaking of which, we have a shrink video coming out here in a week or two too. So we'll see how that's going. Cool. another piece of like drama. Just got an email here. Um, we had we're in a larger complex. The factory, the mega farm here, with our mega farm has 3,000 machines, and we're into this big old building as part of an old train factory. This big old building is part of a larger campus, um, but the landlord is repartitioning it, so there's fences going down in different places to split off the different parcels. Well, um, but those different parcels, where they're putting the fence, they're effectively going to be stopping trucks from entering our space. I pasted out the other day, and there's almost enough room for a truck to make a turn if the truck is really good. But if the truck is not really good, they're going to have a real tough time getting in here. And most truck drivers are not very good, just bluntly. A lot of them just can't get what is needed to maneuver into where they're going to have to maneuver here. So we have this joy of trying to see if we can get the fence moved, and I have no power to get the fence moved. We're a tenant around here effectively, so we're not going to be able to get the fence moved. But I sent out an email and said, like, hey guys, looks like a truck probably is not going to be able to get in here. You might want to look at it, because if the truck can't get into us, then it's going to park in the middle of the road while we unload it, and nobody else is going to get by either. So I tried to kind of set up a scenario where they're worried about all the side effects of this that will affect them, rather than just the fact that they'll affect me. And we'll see how it all lands or shakes out. I expect the fence to go in right where it is, but is what it is. The worst they can say is no, and we end up with exactly where it was, but it's worth chasing it down. But just I sent over the email to a person who I thought was associated with it. She unfortunately has to be like the middleman in this whole thing, which is not helpful, but is what it is. What is this? Oh yeah. Oh, that's right. That's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Don't want that. Just want to be Gabe here. There we go. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Shrinking video would be sick. Oh yeah, we'll get rid of the shrink lines on the side of the stuff. The trick is not that surprising compared to most folks, but yeah. Taking the most popular prints in 3D community and making them mass production ready, like Gridfinity. Gridfinity is actually about as good as it can be. I don't know what I would do to it. They've got chamfers on the bottom already, so they're winning. Gridfinity, I don't know. Gridfinity, the only thing I would probably do is make like the individual squares, like the actual grids of Gridfinity, make them like snap together or something like that. It's not a bad idea, because Gridfinity is so popular, everybody would watch that video. We should do something with Gridfinity. Oh, I guess if I made different bricks and cubes and stuff that went with Gridfinity. Oh, yeah, I should probably do that. Okay, that's a good idea. We'll get that done. I'll get that added to the production list, and we'll do a Gridfinity something or another. Hold on a second here. Let me add this to the writing list. There we are. There's the title of the video. We made Gridfinity mass production ready. It's on the writing list. We'll get it written at some point. One thing I've wanted to design is a knife that can attach to your hand, and then you can flick your hand or wrist, and that will flip out the knife, and the blade can shoot out like a flick of the blade. Go check out Crash Makerspace. He already did that. He has a knife that you do this and it pops out. It's like a whatever, an Assassin's Creed knife that loads up your sleeve. He did a bi-directional spring mechanism on it, which was really cool. But yeah, he designed one like that a couple of years ago. He's a really good engineer over there. I highly recommend checking out Crash Makerspace. His videos are very good, and the work that he does is really interesting. Hi there, you guys build your own printer, I heard. What's your study background? Yeah, our own printers. Right there's a slant box. This is an earlier generation slant box, but that's one of the internal machines that we use right now. That one's like a V12 or V14 behind me. We're on like V18 anymore, so we don't. So that one's a little bit out of date, but it's probably got another year and a half, 2 years of operation before it goes out. But my background, I started off in aerospace engineering, and then through school, I transitioned over to mechanical engineering with a focus in robotics, which gave me both a bit of CS, mainly mechanical design. But I built robots. Before Slant 3D, I ran a company called Slant Concepts. And what we did was we did consulting work for people, but most of the work that we really focused on was consumer robotics. A lot of the stuff that you guys are seeing right now with like humanoid robots and the CES stuff and all these releases with AI and stuff, we were working on that kind of thing back in like 2015, 2016 when machine learning first kind of started going. And like the current LLM models are an evolution of machine learning. The stuff that we worked with, interesting topic around like home robots and consumer robots and that kind of stuff. There hasn't really been a technological restriction on them before. There seems to be a greater release right now because like vision is solved. A robot can identify an apple on a table, which used to be really hard, and now it's super easy. Um, but the manipulation of it and the navigation inside of the world also better, but actual manipulation is really hard, and that's not really solved. And we're still 5 years away from really useful home robots, and a ton of teleoperation between now and then to keep them running. But the main issue, the reason people didn't like robots back then was not because they were less useful. It's because they're scary in the context of you have a camera loose in your home. And back in 2015, we literally worked with the concept of, hey, could we put a robot into everybody's home and have it teleoperated by somebody in Zimbabwe who is a lower cost of labor? So we're basically teleporting labor into an area. And that was the idea for those robots. And we're like, there's no way anyone would do that because you have a person with a camera loose in your home and you have no idea who is operating the camera that is the robot. And that is currently the issue. And Neo is fighting with this issue right now. But robots are cool enough right at the moment that people will tolerate it. Are you willing to speak at an industry conference? Best way to get in touch. Totally open to speaking at an industry conference. I used to do it a lot back like pre-COVID. I used to talk at conferences a bunch. If you're a person who wants me to come on by or something, I'm happy to do that. I email info@slant3d.com and they'll forward the email on to me and I can take a look. But yes, I'm happy to talk at conferences and have done so many times before. I don't go to a lot of conferences historically because we're on the internet. We're talking to each other right now, guys. Who do I need to go see? But no, I'll go to the conferences, and we have been meaning to do more of the conferences this year. This year, we'll probably do Open Sauce for sure, here coming up in the summer. And then, I don't know, there's a couple others. Rapid, we'll probably go to Rapid and see everybody there and just see what's going on. But yeah, I'm happy to do conferences. And I require that I speak at a conference for me to attend. I don't have time for those sorts of things. So my point is that you should focus on designing itself, but focus on using your expertise on mass production to adjust the design, like your joint locker, Mr. B's lunchbox. Yeah, no, I get that for Gridfinity, but like I don't know. There's not much to be done with Gridfinity. Gridfinity is a square box, and it's quite frankly been fairly optimized. Like the edges, the vertical corners are rounded, and they don't use a lot of material, and there's nothing odd about them at all, really. But I don't know where I would squeeze or push or anything that I would say is like egregiously wrong about them. Maybe like first layer design could be optimized a bit, but yeah, I just don't know. We'll work on it. We'll do something with Gridfinity there, but I just don't know what it'd be. Software engineer making $15 an hour. It's a dead market. Oh, I must come in the middle of the conversation. Where are you based? Ricky 5004. Hey, talk about farming sector. How's it going? Yeah, remote work or controlling a robot to smash someone's head in their sleep would be unfortunate. Oh, it's not that. It's the danger of robots is very minimal because if you want the robot to stay out, well, close the door. But it's not like a murder thing. It's literally just people in your home who you don't know watching you. It's not them killing you in your sleep. It's them watching you while you sleep. That's what freaks people out. So yeah. I want to learn 3D printing. How can I learn? What will you teach me? To learn 3D printing, just get a printer and start messing with it. There's no magic way of doing it. For me, if you're interested in modeling, this is the channel to watch. Or if you're interested in starting up a business with 3D printing, you might watch this channel. But if you're a full beginner and you're like wondering what is the best machine, this is not the person to talk to you about it. That's not what we do or what I cover. California, I'm lucky to even have a job as a software engineer making $15 per hour. Really? Are you, Ricky, are you entry level? Are you like a recent grad or something like that? Because I know software development has taken a whack over the last 4 years. But at the same time, well, 3 years since ChatGPT. But at the same time, there's still a tremendous amount of software needed. And anybody who's working in software development is fully aware that AI cannot do it all. I have 8 years of experience. Weird. Web dev, local, specialty, C, hardware, firmware, not hardware, firmware. Yeah, what is your genre of stuff? And you're down in the valley, you're down in San Francisco area? Or are you in some other part of California? I do know of a lot of people who have been, laid off, and it's tough to find like a spot right at the moment. But even if you're a developer currently in like a tough spot, if you can stick it out for like 2 years, it's all going to bounce back, because all AI is doing is creating more. A really good analogy is like when microwaves came around. Microwaves came about and everybody was like, oh, great. Now people won't have to cook as much and everything else. And that was true for like 5 years. And then everybody started cooking more and there were more microwaved meals. So AI has created a momentary like glut of code to where one developer can do the work of 10 in a lot of contexts. I know for a fact that much of the stuff that we do right now would take a lot more people than what we use right at the moment. But I also know that that's going to become the status quo, and we're just going to want more software. And this has already happened. Like right now, we've been releasing a bunch of like free tools over the last month or so, and a lot of them are just off-lovable. I build some of our other guys build some, people on our marketing team build some. But a software developer or somebody with a bit of a software background is much more useful with those AI tools, but we're just going to make more software now, because I otherwise would not have made all those tools if it wasn't easy to do. So the point is that demand is going to keep on growing, so that even though AI continues to do more software development, there's going to be so much more demand for software that good developers who can direct the AI and also make sure that it's sound code will still be useful. Because many of the weirdness problems with AI and also the taste problems with AI are not going to get solved anytime soon. I got my SWE degree a year ago. I switched to AM, but if I open LinkedIn, my whole class has looking for job circle. Really? Yeah, I can see that for recent grads. We had that in a lot of our team. Well, half of our software team came from a coding boot camp, and then the other half were recent graduates. And they were both, they had to work here because there were other spots. They're really good, but yeah, the new graduates in software engineering are having a really tough time if you don't have a particular specialty or studied AI. The reason for it, especially new grads, the way to fix it, the way to get yourself hireable again is like you need to build projects. Get your GitHub green and build projects that are useful and challenging. Don't just code. Don't just do the coding exercises to keep yourself fresh. Go build something. At our company, the way I evaluate somebody, 70% of ability is like, okay, send me over a GitHub of a project you've worked on and let me look at that code. That's something you cared about, something you worked on. I don't care what it is. Number one, I want to see, can you work on something outside of work? Do you love your job enough to actually work on it when you're not around? So do you have side projects or hobbies in it? Or is it all private stuff that you did at some other company? But then also build up that project so that it is in your portfolio that you can share so that you can show off your code quality and your ability to create something. And that's a huge, it's a huge way of improving your resume because you're showing that you have a bias for action. What if you create a computer mouse and keyboard and then sell the STL or 3MF files and then sell components, custom keyboard, mouse, maybe even have moving parts that can turn on and off? There's 3D printed mice out there. Heck, even Bamboo has one. I don't know what I would add to a mouse. There's a world where we would make like a configurator for it or something like that to where it could be resized to your hand, but then I'd have to like design a flow to design it for your hand. Oh, by the way, another project we're working on, which we might do for a video. Well, we've got on the list. We're not working on it right now, but a prosthetic sizer for folks with upper limb amputations. If we can measure their nub digitally online, then they can get a custom socket made for them that changes as they grow, especially if you're a kid with a congenital defect there. That way you can get different sized hands as you get older and have them all printed off as you need them. And those replacements, those hooks and grabbers and different things could all be made for like $20. For the new grads, it's all over. Oh, no, you guys just got to stick it out here for a while. The lucky thing about being a new grad is that you're not set in your career yet, so you can do something else here for a couple of years until all the jobs bounce back. But software engineering jobs will bounce back. Don't worry. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. The appetite for software is insatiable, and AI is not going to stay ahead of it. I'd say AI is more skin to spreadsheets. Or akin to spreadsheets, sorry. Yes, it's similar to that in that it's a tool, and you went from a bunch of people with calculators calculating one row at a time to a guy just dragging and stretching the thing all the way down and getting 1,000 times more calculations and projections done, and then demand increased. So you still have lots of accountants. You just don't have a lot of computers, as in human computers. But and AI is really similar to that as a tool. AI also just needs more management than even those spreadsheets, because the spreadsheet, if I send a formula all the way down, I pretty much know how it's going to function. But if I give AI a spreadsheet to calculate through, I need to do a sanity check on it to make sure it's still reliable. I got my job, started my studio, never used my diploma. JM Sun. Yeah, that happens a bunch. It's amazing. In the context of being a mechanical engineer, I use it quite a bit. But I use it for this kind of stuff and a YouTube channel and that kind of thing. So it's indirect. So much of my job anymore is management, which is not what I was taught in school. So you plant where you grow where you're planted. But yeah, the degrees, many degrees, no one should go to college unless you know the job that you're going to college for. If you're going to college to discover a career or to just have the diploma, you should not be there. Don't go to school for that. If you are not interested in the thing that they're training you for a job for, or if you do not know the job you're being trained for, you should not be in school. You should go work a job until you find something that you really want. A dungeon that you can assemble like multiple parts that you can print like walls, stairs, doors, floors, and then sell the STL and 3MF files. So you can print the models. Those are around, dragons are. You can get a lot of that kind of D&D terrain. We have users on Teleport who have us print and ship like terrain, D&D terrain miniatures and that kind of stuff that is just like that. So yeah, we work on that quite a bit. AI is a system that needs maintenance and repair. AI will not replace us. It will change how we work, but anyone who goes the route of replacing humans with AI and robotics will have a rude awakening. Oh yeah. If you want to go for a full replacement, you're really in trouble. Here locally where we develop software and that kind of stuff, there's no way that we can have a developer or 2 or 12 around working on the code. 70 to 80% of our code is written by AI, but it is maintained and optimized and made intentional by the people working on it. Literally just this morning, part of the reason I'm up here so early is because this last night I've been working through the UI of what we've been working on a teleport facelift lately, and the UI has been throwing me off. It's had an itch in it that I'm just like, there's something off with it, and I don't know what it is. I mean, it's all correct, but there's something wrong with it. And I know much of it was written by AI, and some of the layout was kind of designed there. But I sent it back through ChatGPT, and I'm like, evaluate this like you were Steve Jobs or whatever else it was. And it started pulling out stuff. I'm like, that's what it is. It's all these kind of like little 80% correct but wrong solutions to where it's just really meh. I was just like, that's what it was. It's just everything is just kind of almost there, so it just all feels off. It feels kind of uncanny. And so we're working on that. I'm getting it fixed. Okay. We do homeschool, and my 11 years old already designed nice things, and we'll open our Etsy with teleport this session. Oh, fantastic. Thanks, Christian. Yeah. Agreed. Trust but verify. What AI gives us on the software. Yeah, totally true of everything. AI, here's the thing. AI is very human. It's not computing as traditionally expected. It's squishy the way a person is. So it's amazing to me that people who are like very good managers actually really love AI because they're like, oh, no, the AI does exactly what I needed to do because I just explain it out in detail, concisely, and politely, and it gives me what I want. And then I kind of double check it because sometimes it goes off the rails. And they're like, that's exactly like working with employees. Lay it out, make it clear, communicate concisely. Don't say, did you do that thing? Oh, make this better. You go, hey, move this over here. It's due by Tuesday or whatever else it was. And that's how you manage people. Imagine making money at home at 11 years old. Yeah, they're gonna have a good time. Dev can either monitor a bunch of AI agents or review code written by a bunch of juniors. AI is cheaper, faster, and likely better. Yes, that is true. The issue with that, though, is that you have no talent pipeline, because even though that senior engineer is managing AI, which is what everybody's doing right now, the juniors don't have a way to learn. So when that senior dev quits, leaves, dies, there's no one to replace him who has that same experience. So it's really important for an organization to make sure that they still have young developers coming in so that they can be upgraded over time. But yes, in this moment, at this period of time, and for like the next 2 to 5 years, the one developer doing the work of 10 is going to be fairly common. But again, the demand for software is going to be huge. So if you're a new software developer, build a project yourself, prove that you're okay using AI. And one of the dumbest things to get you not hired is be a recent graduate software developer, and somebody asks you, do you program with AI? And you say, nah, I try not to use AI. I try to use my brain. That's not a good answer. If you are a junior developer who just graduated from school, you need to say, yeah, I use AI all the time. I don't trust it, but it gets rid of all the scut work for me. And that lets me focus on the real tough stuff so I can solve hard problems. That is a reasonable answer to, do you use AI to code? Yes, the answer is yes. If you say no, you're a dinosaur and you're 19. Use AI. It's part of the gig now. Okay. All right. Gotta get back to work. Do something useful here again. Actually, I'm just going to model these up because otherwise I won't get them done ever. I'm catting up some models for a new video around the shrink lines. So I'll get these demo models done. They're going to look fascinating on camera. Well, I wish I could make them more interesting. I don't think I can. I don't think that there is a way. I'm going to leave those all out. The baseline. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, modify. Let's do change. Follow good rules as one does. Okay. Yeah, this is like my park that right there. This is how long until the next set of questions. Oh, by the way, if you guys want to see some content that's very different from what we normally do, I suggest going over to TikTok and checking out 3D over there. There's 3 new videos over there that are quite separate from what we normally do. See a whole different side of me. Just for anybody who's interested. I'll just leave that tease there and let you all discover what it is yourselves. Can't do it. All right. Just a moment here, folks. I'm not allowed to do that because they're all like, no, you can't have a chamfer overlap with itself because that would be crazy. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this do whatever the heck I want. Yeah. We'll go ahead and spread that all the way into top. There. Go. Amazing, amazing what sometimes goes wrong. Just incredible. All right, I have notes on this for sure. Okay. Hold on, guys. I'm going to be back in just a minute. Let me just finish this up real quick. Drawing on that plane? I'm not sure I'm drawing on that plane. Okay. Okay, those are the ones I needed. Yeah. Yeah, hang on a second, guys. Hold on for a second. Now I'm ready to help you all out. Let me get one more thing finished up real fast and sent off to the stuff where it's sent off to. Yeah, control. Hopefully, this thing does exactly what I want it to do and creates a really nice shrink line when we send it out. I want to. I gotta print it both. We're gonna try this one in white, and try one also in matte black. And I'm not sure which one will. The matte black has more shrink, but I'm not sure it will show up because the matte black cleans everything up. So, but the white causes every problem, but it'll at least shrink. Um, let's see if we can get those to send. Yeah, white machines. Okay, back to stuff again. All right, everybody. What do you do with outdated slant boxes? Do you take them apart and upgrade to the newer version, or mostly get rid of them and build fresh? We use the components from a leftover slant box to build the new generation. They're backwards compatible in the main hardware, so you basically rebuild a new version of the machine and then update the chips. And then that way you never have a machine that depreciates straight to zero. These sorts of machines like that are off the shelf like consumer machines, you have your print farm burn out in 18 to 24 months using consumer machines. And our main print farm is designed to hold 3,000 machines. I don't want to have to replace 3,000 machines every 2 years. NVIDIA GPUs last 5 years. So 3D printers for mass production should last at least as long. Gabe, I have designed some automotive parts. I can't really trust anything under ABS temperature. Any chance there will be 85 plus degree filament available on teleport at some point? Yes, it is there. If you need the parts right now, you can run them through slant3d.com. We support ASA over there. But if you're at 85C, what is 85C? That's that's about 150 or so F, which is pretty hot, but PETG won't do it. PETG probably won't do it. But yeah, ASA, we've been working on ASA for a bit, but there's going to be size restrictions to it. ASA parts will be restricted to like this size because people upload really large parts that are ASA, then warp is just too much of a problem. So if people design it incorrectly at all, then the part is going to warp. So we really want to ensure that any part that people make is dimensionally accurate, and the way to do that is just make sure it's small. That way people can't create something that just is not capable of being successful, because that was the problem that we had when we released Teleport the first time around. We had our settings, but then we would deliver parts to people that were out of spec because we thought, oh, people will learn and prototype again, because inside of Teleport we have instant refund. So anyone, if they don't like our part, they can get a refund for it, make an adjustment that we leave them a note on, and then they can move from there. But early users were like, you sent us bad parts. And we're like, you sent us unprintable parts. Your parts are smaller than the diameter of the nozzle. That shouldn't be printed. But they're like, oh, you printed it wrong. I can get it to work on my machine. And I'm like, that's not how we can do this, because we got to try to make it affordable. But so ASA is coming if your parts fit in something like this, is ultimately where that lands. Is Pet Jeep softening pen? So ASA would be good for it. Yeah, okay, that's fair. Yeah. ASA, yeah. We won't have ABS ever, but ASA will be coming out. Do you have heated chambers for the ASA? Yeah, we've got everything that you need to process ASA. But again, even with like heated chambers and that kind of stuff, you don't want to allow people to make a part that's the full build volume, because the shrinkage on things like ASA is so great that you'll have internal stresses on great big parts and all the rest of it, to just where parts are not very stable. Can you tell about your custom 3D printers you use in your farm? There's one of them. There's like a Slant box. That's an earlier version of Slant box. That's like a V12, V14. Currently, Slant boxes are on V18. We're working on V18. I don't have any parts on my desk from V18, but that one is finalizing development and is a fairly big upgrade from previous generations, because the early extruders that we had, they're an assembly of about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 10 to 15 parts on an extruder, which is not many compared to most extruders, but it's a lot for us. We're going to get it down to about 5 parts to build an extruder and make it entirely metal. This one has a lot of plastic componentry in it. So the new metal, full metal extruders, as in not like the throat, like the entire extruder head is metal. It's machined aluminum brick. Those things will unlock a lot of capability for us and better cooling. So those things are coming. Yep, same difference with ABS and ASA. That's very true. I'll keep an eye out. Thank you. Yeah, yeah. If you signed into Teleport, sign up for Teleport, and that way you get notices about when new Teleport features come out. Because there's a ton of features in Teleport that people just don't know about. Because we can't make a full video about, hey, you get custom insert cards now, or et cetera, et cetera. All those things just kind of are. No idea what the cost will be for ASA right now. It'll be more expensive than PET-G, but still affordable. Wherever that is. All right. Weird. How do you reset it? Oh yeah, you just crank it back up to the number you wanted. It's sort of dumb, I suppose, but anyhow. Oh my gosh, I've already been going an hour. I did not expect to stream for an hour. All right, fine. I'm gonna let that be. I'm gonna go back to my modeling here real fast. I'm gonna go ahead and just. Trying to think of a way of doing this that's not terrible. I think that's the way. Oh, shoot. Well, my editor's going to kill me for that one. Left a recording running while I was talking about stuff. Not going to care for that much. could be more better. Look at that, nicely done. Okay. What about texture? Okay. Will there be a video for Bamboo P2S? No, there never will be. We don't do video reviews and that kind of stuff. Sorry. Every printer these days can be a good printer in the right situation, and most can be bad choice in many situations. That's yeah, I agree with that. There is printers. Printers have been the technology has been solid since like 2018. Bamboo made it faster, but that's mainly just because they knew how to do control software and designed material to work with them also. Like high-speed PLA is candle wax that's been put into a string. But yeah, everything else is pretty quick. Guys, I'm probably going to wrap up the stream here because I got to go do some other stuff. But on not learning how to manage when studying, you can be the owner, face, and voice and have a say in company policy. For managing people, you can hire a manager who is educated in that field. Yes, but no. The theory that you as the founder of the company will hire somebody to do your job for you. Like I'll hire a CEO or I'll hire a COO and I'll get to run the company, but the COO will do all the miserable stuff for me. That doesn't really happen and generally doesn't create very strong companies. It is incumbent on the founders to be willing to kind of own large portions of the company, especially around people, around hiring people, because especially when the company is young, the founders are kind of the soul of the company and they're supposed to set the culture and everything else. So even though it's sounds good to hire somebody who will do all the work for you, that's generally a bad decision because if you haven't done the work yourself, you don't know who to hire or if they're doing a good job. And quite frankly, they just don't care as much as you do. So as a company grows to a certain size, some of those things can be done, but it shouldn't be done early, if ever. Any thoughts? Not, nope, don't review machines here. Alrighty. Fair enough, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it right there. I'm gonna go do some other stuff or go grab like a bite to eat or something here for breakfast because I've been up for 24 hours now. So I'm just gonna wrap it right there. This was a interesting way of trying out the stream. So maybe we'll do this again sometime. But yeah, let me stick around. We're probably gonna do a stream almost every day this week just to see how they go, and then run from there. See y'all.